AI and Hacking 101. So you've probably heard the term AI or artificial intelligence thrown around a lot. It's in your phone, your car, your smart speaker. But what is it really? Think of it like this. AI is basically teaching a computer to think and learn kind of like a human does. Instead of following strict pre-programmed instructions, an AI can look at a ton of information, recognize patterns, make decisions, make predictions. It's the tech that lets your phone recognize your face powers. Your streaming recommendations helps doctors diagnose diseases. Not robots taking over the world, software that gets smarter over time. On the other side of the coin, we have hacking. This one's a bit more familiar. At its core, hacking is finding and exploiting weaknesses in a computer system or network. The goal, gain unauthorized access to data or make a system do something it wasn't designed to do. We picture hackers as shadowy figures in hoodies trying to steal credit card numbers, but hacking can be much more subtle. It's about outsmarting the system, finding a backdoor, finding a vulnerability the creators didn't see. As tech gets more complex, hacker methods get more sophisticated too. Now what happens when these two worlds collide? That's where things get really interesting and a little scary. Let's dive into the first major risk: data poisoning. This one is exactly what it sounds like. It's all about corrupting the data that an AI uses to learn. Remember how we said an AI needs a ton of data to get smart? Well, what if some of that data is secretly malicious? Imagine you're training an AI to approve bank loans, and you feed it historical data. A hacker could subtly insert fake data samples where high-risk applicants are labeled as low risk. The AI, not knowing any better, learns from this poisoned data. It internalizes this bad information as fact. It's a quiet, insidious attack that happens long before the AI is ever used by a customer. A hidden flaw, a built-in bias, a secret backdoor. When it's deployed, it might seem to work perfectly fine 99% of the time. But under specific circumstances created by the attacker, it will fail spectacularly. For example, that loan approval AI might automatically approve a loan for a specific fraudulent application that matches the pattern the hacker secretly taught it. The AI thinks it's making a smart decision based on its training, but in reality, it's just triggering a pre-programmed vulnerability. The scariest part is that it's incredibly hard to detect, because the model itself isn't broken. It just learned the wrong things. A real-world example of this concept was demonstrated by researchers with a content filtering AI. These systems are trained on vast amounts of text from the internet to learn what is and isn't toxic. Next up is model stealing. This is the digital equivalent of a high-stakes corporate heist. We talked about how much time, money, and data goes into training a sophisticated AI model. For a company like Google, a self-driving car company, a financial firm, their trained AI models are some of their most valuable assets. They represent millions of dollars in research and development and give them a competitive edge. Not to make it fail, but to copy or reverse engineer the model itself. The attacker essentially gets a five-finger discount on a multi-million-dollar R&D project. How does this even work? You can't just download the AI model like a file. Instead, hackers use clever techniques to query the AI. They send it a massive number of inputs and carefully observe the outputs. For example, they might send thousands of different images to an image recognition AI and record every classification it makes. Over time, by analyzing these input-output pairs, they can train their own student model to mimic the behavior of the original teacher model. They don't have the original model, but they have a nearly perfect replica that functions in the same way. It's a patient, methodical attack that leaves very few traces. It's pure intellectual property theft on a massive scale. This brings us to the third and maybe the most fascinating type of attack: adversarial attacks. This is where hackers don't poison the data or steal the model. Instead, they trick the fully trained live AI. They craft special inputs that look totally normal to a human but cause the AI to make a completely wrong decision. It's like a visual illusion or a digital illusion designed to fool a machine. They exploit subtle differences between human perception and how an AI sees patterns in data. The AI might be, say, 99.9% accurate, but the attack targets that remaining 0.1% with surgical precision. Classic example: self-driving cars. Researchers can place a few small, strategic stickers on a stop sign. To a human, it still looks like a stop sign. To the car's AI camera, those stickers can make it read 45 mph. The image is only slightly altered, but it can cause catastrophic failure in the AI's judgment. That's a physical world adversarial attack with potentially dangerous consequences. Another example, voice recognition. AI assistants like Siri or Alexa are trained on human speech. Researchers added almost imperceptible high-frequency noise to audio. To a person it sounds like, "What's the weather today?" But the noise hides a secret adversarial command. The AI decodes it and might hear, "Unlock the front door," or "Turn off all security cameras." So we've talked about these different types of hacks, but what's the real-world impact? Why should you, as a regular user of technology, actually care about this stuff? Well, the consequences can range from being a minor annoyance to being downright dangerous. Imagine your smart home security system. An adversarial attack could fool your camera into not recognizing an intruder. A poison model could have a secret backdoor that allows a hacker to disable your alarm. The tech you bought to keep you safe could suddenly become your biggest vulnerability. It's not just about physical security. Think about the AI that powers social media feeds or search engine results. If that data gets poisoned, the AI could be manipulated to promote misinformation, promote propaganda, promote scams, bury legitimate information. You might be served content designed to influence your opinions or trick you into clicking on malicious links. On a personal level, a hacked medical AI could lead to a misdiagnosis. A compromised financial AI could unfairly deny you a mortgage or a credit card. These aren't just hypotheticals. They are real risks as we integrate AI more deeply into our lives. For businesses, the fallout is massive. A successful attack can lead to devastating financial losses. Think about an e-commerce company whose recommendation AI is poisoned. It might start recommending unprofitable products. It might recommend products from a competitor's site. A model stealing attack can wipe out a company's entire competitive advantage overnight. Beyond the direct financial hit, there's catastrophic damage to reputation. With all these scary possibilities, the big question is, what are the experts doing about it? The good news is that the cybersecurity community is all over this. They're developing a whole new playbook specifically for defending AI systems. One of the primary strategies against data poisoning is ensuring data integrity. This involves carefully vetting and cleaning data before it ever reaches the training model. Companies are creating data sanitization pipelines that automatically scan for anomalies, outliers, suspicious patterns in the training set. They also rely on trusted, verified data sources and maintain strict access controls over their data lakes to prevent unauthorized additions. To combat model stealing, experts are working on making AI models more difficult to reverse engineer. One technique is called watermarking. They embed a unique, secret signature into the AI's decision-making process. If someone steals the model and deploys it, the company can query the stolen model, check for its watermark, and prove the theft. Another approach is to deliberately add a little bit of randomness or noise to the AI's public-facing outputs. This makes it much harder for an attacker to get a clear signal of the model's behavior, disrupting their ability to train a perfect copycat model without noticeably degrading the service for legitimate users. One of the main methods is called adversarial training. This is where you basically fight fire with fire. During the training phase, you intentionally generate a bunch of adversarial examples and show them to the AI, teaching it what to look out for. It's like giving the AI an immune system. By training it on these tricky inputs, the model becomes more robust and less likely to be fooled by similar attacks in the wild. So this all might sound pretty high level, but there are definitely practical things you can do as a user to stay safer in a world full of AI. You don't need to be a security expert to make a difference. The first and most important tip is to be mindful of the data you share. AI-powered services are often free because you're paying with your data. Be cautious about which apps and services you grant access to. Photos, contacts, location. Use privacy settings on social media. Use privacy settings on other platforms to limit how much of your data is being scraped and potentially used to train future AI models. The less you share, the smaller your digital footprint. Second, always be a little skeptical. Another key tip is to keep your software and devices updated. This sounds basic, but it's incredibly important. Companies are constantly working to patch security holes in their software. When Apple or Google releases a security update for your phone, it might include fixes that make Face ID or the voice assistant more robust against adversarial attacks. Finally, use strong, unique passwords and enable two-factor authentication wherever possible. Many AI services are tied to online accounts, But I think the right way to look at it is with a sense of realistic optimism. The truth is, the battle between AI and hackers is the next evolution of a long-running game. The incredible thing is we can use AI to fight back. Researchers are building AI-powered cybersecurity systems that can monitor networks for threats. We need a collective global effort to align AI with human values. So while the shocking truth is AI is vulnerable, the more important truth is we're aware of it. The brightest minds in tech and security are working on it now. But the destination, a future where AI makes our lives better, safer, more efficient, is worth the journey. The game is on, and it's a game we intend to win.